Morning folks, I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School, back in our series, 5 Minutes to Better Bushcraft. And today we're going to talk about the angular advantage. And the only thing you need to remember about the angular advantage is the number 45. 45 degree angles will do a lot for you in bushcraft, and we're going to talk about that right now. Okay, let's talk about this 45 degrees. If we have a line this way and a line this way, and we have a 45 degree angle here, then this distance and this distance are going to be equal. And we can use that on the ground, or we can use that in the air to our advantage. If we want to know the height of a tree, and we get back from that tree at a 45 degree angle to the top of that tree, and we find a 45 degree angle with our clinometer, which we'll talk about in a minute, we are the same distance away from that tree as it is tall, plus our body length, because we're standing up, so we'd have to be laying down to get that 45 degree angle again. So we add our body length to that measurement. That will tell us how tall that tree is. We can use that for lots of things. If we're going to fell a tree, we want to know how far it's going to fall or where it's going to land, we can figure that out. If we have a tree that's deadfall in the area of our camp, we can find out how far away from that deadfall we need to camp to be safe. If we're going to drop that tree across a danger area, like a swift water crossing, and we want to know that that tree is tall enough to reach the other side, we can measure that. How do we find out what the length is across that danger area? We use the same method on the ground. If we have a swift water crossing here, a danger area, and we want to know what this distance is here, because we're going to drop a tree on this side to give us an assisted handrail across that crossing, then we need to find a tree on this side to take a bearing on with our compass. And then we walk in this direction until we are 45 degrees in either direction from that azimuth. And that gives us the distance from here to here equal to the distance here, which tells us exactly how far it is across that danger area. Okay, let's say we're trying to do some mapping, and we want to do some contour mapping, and we have a hilltop here, and we have our buddy standing somewhere on that incline, and we're standing down here at the bottom. We can use that same angle. If we get away from him at 45 degrees, then we travel this way until we are 45 degrees again here. Then this distance is the same as this elevation. If this is our zero elevation, this distance equals the elevation here. We can spot check that in several places and just connect the dots to create simple contours. This is a more complicated mapping method, but it's a simple way to use the same thing to affect a somewhat accurate contour if you are trying to do self-mapping. The other way that we can use this, if we are trying to navigate from a camp, say our camp is here, and we are camped along a linear feature, because we understand that aiming off and things like that will help us to stay found. If we take an azimuth here and walk a certain distance, and we know what that distance is because we keep track of it, and then we make a 90-degree turn and walk an equal distance in either direction, so that it's equal here or here, then this angle should be 45 degrees to get back where we came from. And if we aim off, then we can drift into our camp, or if we hit this linear feature, know exactly which way to turn to get back to camp. But this 45 gives you a leg here and a leg here, which would give you an exact azimuth back here at a straight line distance back to your camp at about 1.5 times the distance of either one of these legs. Okay guys, well I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School, and I appreciate you joining me for this quick 5 minutes to better bushcraft on the advantage of angles, or the angular advantage. I appreciate your views, I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, for our business, for all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends. And I'll be back with another video as soon as I can. Thanks, guys.